Alright, long time coming. Ripper 2 small review. I got this around golly season, so September-ish, and yeah, I still haven't got around to doing a review on it. But I told some people I'd finish the review, so here I am. Anyway, this isn't going to be a super high quality in my basement, whatever. Just want to get this thing done. But the Ripper 2 small, here it is. This is the fire ant color. Does not match my gecko colors because they didn't have the gecko color when I got this. It was one of the first smalls probably in the country that I got. And I was able to take it down the upper gully for the first run in it. But yeah, let's just spec wise, I'll put the specs on the screen. So the small is 8'8", so length is 8 foot 8 inches, 24.5 inches wide, so a little wider than the Ripper 1 small. And if you want, you can check out my video comparing this to that. I just did some kind of video comparisons between the medium and the small. Anyway, gallon wise, 55 gallons. It weighs roughly 42 pounds, what they say at Pyranha. I have not weighed it myself. And then their suggested paddler weight is 88 to 165, which I'd say is actually pretty accurate. I would say my optimal paddler rate just for the overall paddler would be about 100 to 145. I think going over 145 is going to be pretty sluggish and spicy per se, and obviously below 100 you can paddle it, but it's going to be just a bigger and bigger boat for you. But anyway, so yeah, let's get into just kind of looking at the boat here. I'm not going to go too much into detail of this. There's tons of Ripper reviews already. But obviously the Ripper 2, the bow is, you got more bow rocker than the Ripper 1, which is nice to skip over drops and things like that. Has the same grab handles and stuff like that. Nice grab handles. I put my bolts on here. I'm not going to talk about those. They're the red though. But all the stock bolts are okay, but they strip out easy. That's my thing when you're changing the seat and all that kind of stuff. Nice cockpit rim. Skirt fits well. You do need a IR extra large. Piranha's cockpits are still rather big. You got your standard, again, grab handles back here and one neck here. And no drain plug, which I really like. Honestly, I don't think anybody needs a drain plug on a, what you would consider a play boat for the most part, on this boat especially. So yeah, that's kind of the top of the boat. Looks good. Color schemes are good. I wish they'd have at least one or two more colors, but it is what it is. But it's a nice looking boat as far as just quality of looks. Plastic's good. The tail, it's pretty thin back here. I've hit it a few times, but I think it's thick enough where, you know, I mean, I've done a ton of stern squirts and it hasn't damaged it too bad or anything like that. The medium's kind of the same way, but nice little scoop here. This stern is awesome for stern squirting. It does squat on you a little bit going down river. We'll talk about that more. But yeah, let's just look at the outfitting real quick. And I'm not necessarily going over the outfitting, but I'll just tell you what I do for my weight and my height. So again, I'm 5'9", about 140, 145. I like to sit a little higher in my boat. So even on the small, I got 2 seat shims under here. And you just unscrew these right here and stick your little foam under there. For my hips, I still have 3 shims on each side for my hips. And then in the smalls, I don't need the Pyranha hookers. If you're a lot smaller than me, you may want them. They're definitely helpful. I find that with the smaller boats, I don't really need them, and it kind of traps me in more. So I'd rather just have them out, especially for creeking. A little bit safer, but you got your nice step out pillar here and your Pyranha bulkhead, all that's the same. Pyranha back band that I'm not too much of a fan of just because it's so floppy, but that's really the only thing bad about Pyranha outfitting is this and actually moving it. I think I have the seat. I want to say I just left the seat in the middle position on the small. I did move the thigh hooks back 1 for me, and then obviously the feet. I always fit my boat with full shoes on or full wrestlers, so these are on 4 for me. The top one. I highly suggest if you're creeking, always wear full shoes. Don't ever go barefoot like my friend Jacob Simpson. But he finally got some shoes recently. But yeah, that's the top of the boat here. We'll just flip it over. Look at the sidewall and stuff. So very nice hull on this thing. It's pretty loose. It surfs really well. It's not like the Ripper 1 as far as speed. The Ripper 1 is definitely faster, nimbler, but this is a lot more forgiving of a boat, meaning primary and secondary stability are great. You can pretty much, it's really buoyant and stays on the water really well. It you know, you don't like flip easily like you did in the Ripper 1 per se. It's got nice rails for surfing. It's a great hole design for sure. And it's got these wave deflectors up front here, as you can see, just like on the other Rippers, or the other Ripper 2s, I should say. I think this is more pronounced though as you get like on the medium and largest. Obviously, you can only do so much on the small. So the Ripper price wise is $16.99, I think. The Ripper 2s, at least from the last time I looked. Not sure if they've gone up. Probably will next year. Inflation's like crazy right now. But I will say it's a little pricier than most of the other half slices. So check out my reviews on the Chili, the Machete, those kind of boats if you're interested in different half slices. Right, so let's get into the ratings. We'll start with Downriver. I'm going to give this thing an 8-ish, or you could give it even a little more for Downriver. It's a pretty good Downriver boat. I wouldn't say as good as the medium. Obviously, I'm kind of in between sizes here. So if you're in the small, if you're like 120 and below, this would probably be just fine for any Downriver class 5 plus, whatever you want to run. For my weight, 145, you're getting into more. This is like leaning on playboat territory. So bigger water, obviously the stern's gonna get caught more, etc., all that kind of stuff. But overall, just for me, in my personal opinion, and my weight and everything, I'll give this an 8. It's pretty good downriver. It's pretty quick. It's not as quick as the Ripper 1 or the Chili, but it's quick enough. It does a good job. It's nimble. Like I said, the bow rocker is nice to skip over holes. It punches holes pretty well overall. I will say the one thing I don't like is if you slow this boat down a little bit, the tail, and same thing even on the medium, the tail kind of squats a little bit and grabs in the eddy line, which is great for stern squirting. We'll get into that in a minute, but if you slow it down a little bit, it does get caught if you're kind of just sitting in an eddy or going slow. So you want to kind of keep your speed up if you're going down river, especially on some bigger rapids. But overall, it boosts well. It definitely likes rocks a lot better than the Ripper 1. It's got softer edges here, like I said, for stability and that kind of thing. Doesn't flip as easier. So it's a great downriver boat. I would highly recommend it. It's kind of like a rewindish, all around good half slice for downriver. Alright, so for creeking, again, I'm going to give this somewhere between a 7.5 and 8.5 depending on where you're kind of running. It's still a great creek boat. It has that bow rocker to get you over drops. You can stern load it to boof really well. Like I said, it has softer edges, so it can bounce off the rocks pretty easy. It's nimble enough. I will say it's pretty spicy on the tail, so if you're going on some stouter creeks, probably wouldn't recommend it necessarily as a creek boat. I mean, I've taken down the Cascades and stuff. It was spicy, did okay, but would I want to take it down every time? Probably not. I would probably want to step up to the medium at least. Again, this all depends on your weight, so if you're a smaller person, probably just fine. It's a great overall half slice for anything really. I will say versus the Ripper 1 and even the Rewind, you have a little bit more volume here, so if you were to get pinned or something, easier to get your knees out, so that's a good thing as far as creaking is concerned. Again, it's better than the Rewind, the Chili, and the Ripper 1 in my opinion. The Machete kind of is about the same, so if you're looking at that boat, but yeah, it's safe for the most part. It's got good grab handles, solid here, solid plastic and stuff like that. So creeking, you always want to look at the safety of the boat too. So again, I would give it somewhere between a 7.5 and 8.5 depending on your weight range and what you're running, but I would definitely recommend it going down a creek as long as it's not too crazy of a creek. Alright, this one's going to be pretty quick. I mean, outfitting, comfort, all that kind of stuff, safety. All Pyranha boats are pretty good. As I said, the outfitting's a pain to move, but once you get it set, it stays in place. The bolts don't come out. So in that aspect, it's pretty nice. It's got the nice molded step-out pillar for safety again, just like everything else. Nice grab handles for safety. It's fairly comfortable, not the most comfortable boat. Again, I'll kind of dock it a little bit for the pain in the butt of moving stuff for the outfitting. But overall, I'd say 8, just like most Pyranha boats, I would give it probably an 8 too. It's good outfitting. It's just the back band is a negative for me, and just the ease of being able to move it when you want to. But it's safe and it's comfortable, so there you go. But kind of the last rating I want to say for last, which is why you want this boat, is playability. This thing is super fun on the river. Class 5, Class 1, it doesn't matter. This thing stern squirts so easy. This would be a great beginner boat to teach someone how to stern squirt. In my opinion, if you want to play boatish half slice, this is definitely the one to get if you're in my weight range. I'd say 150 and below. Definitely get a Ripper 2 small. This thing just loads up so easy on the stern. Flat water, I can get a vertical in flat water. You don't really even need an eddy line. I will say, as far as pure wetting, it still does it pretty well, just like the Ripper 2 Medium. The Ripper 2 Medium has a little more width back here, so it's a little easier to kind of keep it stalled up and pirouetted around. But this boat is awesome. It surfs good. You can loop it if you want. Side surfs well. It's a great half slice play boat. So I want to say 9 to almost a 10, 9.5. This thing is one of the best half slices. Definitely beats out the Rewind. Definitely beats out the Ripper 1. The Chili. The Machete is pretty close to how fun it is for playing, but this still beats it out as far as just overall being able to pirouette on the stern, get it vertical, boof it. You can take literally one stroke or lean it back for a splat. It's an awesome boat, especially in the small. It's super easy. Again, if you're a smaller paddler, this is the boat to get if you want to learn how to stern squirt or just have fun on any sort of class of river. Highly recommended for playability. Alright, so last but not least, why would you buy, I always do this, why would you buy a Ripper 2 Small in particular? And just kind of like I said before, if you're looking for a play boat, half slice boat, this is the one to get. And if you're looking kind of a one do-it-all boat and you're kind of starting out, this is definitely a boat to get. It's a little pricey, like I said, compared to the other half slices, but it does everything really well. It skips over boofs. Boof's nice. It skips over holes nice. Super easy to get the stern down. The outfitting is fairly comfortable and easy to use. Solid plastic, cool coloring, cool styling. Yeah, like I said, the small is just incredible for play. So if you're in the market for a half slice play boatish type boat, this is the one to get. If you're a beginner looking to start the sport and you're looking to advance quickly, I always highly recommend a half slice to start out in rather than a creek boat. And I would suggest this boat around my weight range for sure to start out in. It will give you, it's got good primary secondary stability to kind of, so you won't roll all the time, but then you can advance in the boat well enough because it's got more aggressive edging than a lot of the other boats and stuff like that. And then also the third reason you want to buy, if you're a kid and you're like 100 pounds or something, this thing would be an awesome boat. I know Dominic Morel, congratulations, just got on Team Pyranha, and they gave him a, well, he picked up a Ripper Small too, so he's paddling that now. I know he loves it already, and he's a smaller guy. I'm not sure how much he weighs, but yeah, smaller guy, smaller girl paddler. This is the one to get for sure. I would recommend it over all the other half slices out there, in my opinion. And like I said, I'm not sponsored by any one brand, so in my opinion, best half slice you can buy right here, the Ripper 2 Small. I just want to say, everybody, thanks for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe. It helps me out. And let me know what other reviews you want, what other boats. I got the small Nirvana coming soon. I got the RMX 86 coming soon, just whenever I can get time to do it. And my wife back there behind the camera has time to do it, so thank her as well in the comments. Thank you, Kristen, for helping out. And if you're interested in these bolts, TK bolts, let me know. Some of them say sold out on the site, but I might have them. I just can't, it's hard to like inventory for each boat, so I kind of just have the bolts laying around. So if you want some, let me know.